The movie begins millions of years ago on Earth, where a fierce battle is taking place between the five guardians of the planet and their deadly enemy. Unfortunately, all guardians fall in battle except for their leader, Zordon, who wears the red armor. In his final moments, Zordon gathers the power stones from his fallen teammates and hides them deep in the ground, hoping that one day they'll find worthy successors to protect the planet from their enemy, Rita. We discover that Rita was once a guardian herself, but betrayed the team in her quest to find the Zeo crystal, which gives life to the planet and grants absolute power and control over the universe. Before dying, Zordon tells Rita that she'll die with him, and right then, a massive strike hits their location. Zordon dies, and Rita is blasted into the ocean's depths, where she loses the green power stone. Millions of years later, we see a high school student named Jason. He and a friend have stolen a cow and placed it in the rival football team's locker room as a prank. Suddenly, police sirens are heard. Jason steals a car to escape, but ends up crashing. He's arrested, and 3 weeks later, his dad is driving him to school on a Saturday. We learn that Jason is under house arrest, monitored with an ankle tracker, and must attend weekly behavioral rehab sessions with other troubled students. His dad lectures him angrily, disappointed that his once famous son, star of the school football team, threw away his future with a reckless prank. At school, Jason notices a student named Billy, who seems to have autism, quietly drawing. A bully named Colt begins harassing Billy and breaks his crayons. Jason steps in and slaps the hell out of Colt, protecting Billy. A teacher arrives, and a girl named Kimberly leaves the classroom to use the bathroom. There, she meets two of her best friends, but they tell her they no longer want to associate with her. Kimberly doesn't seem to care. One of them had a boyfriend who Kimberly beat up, knocking out his teeth. At the end of the day, Billy thanks Jason for helping him and asks if they can be friends. Billy invites Jason to hang out that night. Jason refuses at first, telling him he's under house arrest and can't go anywhere past 7 p.m. due to the tracker on his leg. Billy tells him he's a hacker and can disable the tracker, and even has a car they can use. Jason considers the offer. At home, he overhears his dad calling him a failure, which upsets him. He checks the time. It's almost 7, so he grabs his bike and races to Billy's house. There, Billy successfully hacks the tracker, reprogramming it so the police won't detect violations. Jason is thrilled and grateful. They head out to a large mountain at the edge of town. At the mountain, Billy starts planting explosives in the mine, searching for gold. Jason refuses to help and starts to leave, but then spots Kimberly jumping off a cliff into the water. When she doesn't resurface, he panics and jumps in after her, only to see her calmly surface nearby. They recognize each other from school, although they've never talked before. Suddenly, Billy detonates the explosives, blowing open part of the mountain. Jason and Kimberly rush over where they find another student, Zach, yelling at Billy for the blast. Then, they spot a girl named Trini standing on a ledge, warning them to leave before the mine guards arrive. Just then, a part of the mountain collapses. Luckily, no one is hurt. As the dust settles, they discover a glowing wall of crystal hiding the power stones. Zach smashes it, and each of them takes a stone. Suddenly, they hear police cars approaching. Jason and Billy run to the car and speed off. Along the way, they pick up Kimberly and Trini, then spot Zach running along a ridge. He leaps onto the car, and Billy drives like crazy to escape. They soon find themselves on train tracks, and a speeding train is coming. Everyone yells at Billy to accelerate, but he fails. The train crashes into the car, flipping it violently. Meanwhile, far out at sea, fishermen aboard a ship pull up their nets. Amid the fish, they discover a mummy-like figure. They freeze her body in ice and prepare to call the police. The next morning, Jason wakes up in his room, surprisingly unharmed and wondering how he got there. He checks his pocket and finds the red power stone. He keeps it on the table. In the bathroom, he finds the power stone again, and this surprises him. He starts throwing up and leans on the sink, accidentally shattering it with his strength. Kimberly wakes up in her room and crushes her phone by mistake. Billy is also shocked when he breaks his closet door just by touching it. At school, Cole tries to grab Billy's arm. I can honestly tell you haven't hit that subscribe button. Just press it, please. But Billy doesn't budge. Colt head bumps him, but he flies backward and passes out. The students are amazed, and Billy finally feels valued and confident. Jason arrives at school and chats with Kimberly about the car crash. They're shocked they survived without injuries. They meet Billy in the cafeteria, where they all realize something strange is happening. Each one still has their power stone, and suddenly they emit a wave of energy that causes a small explosion in the cafeteria. They decide to return to the mine for answers. Back on the fishing boat, a police officer examines the mummy. As he gets closer, a green light glows. Rita awakens, kills the officer, and escapes. At the mine, Jason and the others find Zach again. He also has superpowers now. They spot Trini quickly climbing the mountain and follow her. She leaps across a massive gap, and the others jump too, except for Billy, who hesitates. The group encourages him, and he finally jumps, only to fall. They panic, thinking he's dead, but hear his voice from below. He's landed in a beautiful lake. They all jump in and discover their bodies glowing underwater. Jason glows red, Billy blue, Kimberly pink, Zach black, and Trini yellow. I can honestly tell you haven't hit that subscribe button. Just press it, please. Billy notices something odd and swims deeper. He finds a strange water barrier that pulls them all into an underwater cave. Inside the cave, they find a massive spaceship. Jason's power stone glows, and the ship's doors open. They enter, amazed by the advanced alien tech. Suddenly, the walls shift, and the ship opens. A small robot appears, and Trini attacks it, but the robot easily deflects her. The robot introduces itself as Alpha 5, saying he's waited 65 million years for them. He leads them to the morphing grid in the center of the ship. There, a hologram of Zordon appears, his consciousness preserved inside the ship's matrix. Zordon explains that the stones chose them to be the new Power Rangers and protectors of the planet Earth. Their mission is to protect Earth's Zeo crystal from Rita, who seeks the ultimate energy crystal buried beneath the planet. Zordon also explains that each planet that has life on it has its own Zeo crystal and its own guardian. To prove the threat, Zordon shows them the future. Rita turns humans into stone and destroys everything. The group watches in horror. Back in the present, Rita has come back to life and is creating a giant monster named Zoldar to find the crystal. Jason and his friends don't believe Zordon and leave, but Zordon stops Jason and reveals he is the Red Ranger and their leader. Jason must convince the others to fight. Meanwhile, Rita kills more people and gathers gold to create Zoldar. She even kills a homeless man for his gold teeth. The next day, Jason meets the group on a mountain. They decide to join him and begin training. Alpha 5 takes them to the pit, where they fight simulated stone monsters. Their combat skills improve, but they still can't morph into their ranger suits or locate the crystal. Billy analyzes maps and discovers the crystal is beneath the popular donut shop. As a reward, Alpha shows them their Zords, giant robotic dinosaurs. Each ranger has a unique Zord, but they can't control them with. I can honestly tell you haven't hit that subscribe button. Just press it, please. Out fully morphing, Zach recklessly tries his Zord, loses control, and almost harms his teammates. Jason gets furious, and they fight until Billy steps in. Just then, Billy finally morphs into a ranger. His armor appears briefly, then vanishes. Zordon explains that the armor lives within them. They must unlock it by embracing who they are and working together alone. None of them can win. Later, Rita attacks Trini in her sleep and demands the location of the crystal. Trini refuses, but Rita gives her one day, or she'll destroy the city. The team decides to confront Rita, even without their powers. Rita captures them and tortures them for answers. She threatens to kill Zach, so Billy reveals the crystal's location. Rita drowns him and leaves the others alive, mocking their weakness. They rush Billy to Zordon, devastated. Each of them says they would have died in Billy's place. Suddenly, Billy comes back to life. Zordon tells them the missing piece was their love for each other. that unity is their true power. They gather around the morphing grid and finally morph into the Power Rangers. Suited up, they head out to stop Rita before she reaches the crystal. Rita arrives at a gold mine and begins constructing Zoldar. The Rangers fight waves of stone monsters. When overwhelmed, they summon their Zords and battle through the enemy forces. This is getting me hyped up. Let's play a little Power Rangers song.
Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Mighty Morphin Power Rangers! Go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! You mighty Morphin Power Rangers!
I can honestly tell you haven't hit that subscribe button. Just press it, please. Anyways, Zoldar helps Rita escape into the city. The Rangers regroup and attack Zoldar. Billy's Zord gets trapped, so Kimberly rescues him and hurls his Zord at Zoldar. Billy activates his Zord's energy, blasting Zoldar and Rita to the ground, but Zoldar rises again and starts digging toward the crystal. The Rangers try to stop him, but Zoldar pushes them into a lava pit. It seems they're doomed, but suddenly their Zords combine to form the mighty Megazord. A final battle begins. Megazord defeats Zoldar with powerful blows.
Look at me!
Rita attacks one last time, but Jason warns her to surrender. She refuses, so Megazord punches her into space, where she freezes in silence. The Rangers celebrate their victory and return to normal life, proud to hear the town cheering for the Power Rangers. The end.